Shalom, 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 everybody, man. So this is Voice of the Branches, right? And so today, this episode, man, got a mighty interview with the Mighty Brutha Yashayah, man, from the Hopeful Elect, man. Shalom.
Shalom, King. Shalom. Want to give all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yeah, I appreciate the brother for having me on Voices of the Branches, man. Beautiful thing.
All praise the Most High, man. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. So Yashayah, man, you know what I'm saying? You go out, you labor, you do the works, you do things like this. Tell me about how it's been, this journey has been. First of all, how long you been in the truth?
So I've been in the truth going on 3 years. I've been knowing about the knowledge since, like, I guess you could say 2017, fall 2017, but I didn't fully, assimilate over into this walk until I want to say 2021, around January. That's when I, started fellowshipping with the brothers who I fellowship with now, and it's been, a journey ever since.
Con. That's beautiful. So you said you've been in about 3 years, right? And you fellowship with the brothers of Hopeful Elect. How has that experience been, actually being a part of a brotherhood, you know what I'm saying, along with your journey and this truth?
It's been a great experience. I would say that, the unity of brethren is definitely one of the things that across all of the brothers that, we fellowship with, man, it's a beautiful thing to have, especially when you're going through storms, being able to have a brother in your corner, being able to have a brother to lift you up. It's one of the things that keeps me going. And then know it's something that keeps a lot of other brothers going as well. Just being a part of that body, and having, again, that unity that just kind of like, keep you sharp around the edges like that. It's been a beautiful thing, man. And I wouldn't take it for granted. It's better than, I would say it's almost similar to like when I played sports in the world, when I played football and everybody talked about that brotherhood, but it's a lot different in the truth. It's a lot more sincere. It's a lot more honest, and it pushes you in righteousness a lot further.
I agree. Now, I just mentioned you said football. You played football. Yeah. Now, we know in football, football teaches you a lot of lessons in football as well. What is something that you could say, a lesson that you learned from football that you can bring to this truth?
Discipline. I would say football teaches you having a great sense of discipline. I played both offensive line and defensive line. Even though on the inside I feel like I'm a quarterback, receiver. I got all the skill sets to be that skill guy. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
Man, playing O-line and D-line, a lot of the times when I was in practice or we was training, what we would do is we would do this thing called, sitting in your stance. And we would sit in our stance and we would have to look down the line at the ball just to watch for when the snap is made. So that way in the game, we wouldn't jump off sides, and cost a 5-yard penalty. So that was some of the hardest training we've done, because a lot of people think it's the running or it's the lifting. It's really the little things, the attention to detail, and it requires you to be disciplined. So I would say that when I played football, just speaking on my experience in the truth, discipline is definitely one of those things that I learned from football that, I got to carry over into the faith. I got to make sure that I'm reading, the amount of chapters I set to read. I make sure that when I vow to fast, I'm sticking to that vow, and I'm saying, hey, I said I was going to fast today. Make sure I'm doing whatever I need to do to, stay in the spirit and fast, with everything, staying sharp with the scriptures, making sure that, when we go out and teach, being that I'm so young in the truth, there are a lot of things that I haven't experienced myself, but I've seen brothers who go out and labor, experience those things. And part of being disciplined is reminding me to say, okay, he said this, let me go write this down. So that way, when I'm posed with a question like that, I know how to answer it and stuff like that. So all in all, discipline is the biggest thing I would say.
I like that. That's beautiful. And I like how you said paying attention to the small details. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When we go into this Bible and we see how the Lord laid out the foundation, a lot of things could be very meticulous. You know what I'm saying? We gotta pay attention to those fine details.
Those fine details, man.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. So you went to HBCU, right?
Yeah, I went to a HBCU.
HBCU. Yeah, HBCU. Okay, so going to HBCU, how is that? You know what I'm saying? Going to a school surrounded by your own people. You know what I'm saying? Then, what did you find out using the truth when you was in college?
Yeah, I found out the truth. So I started finding out the truth in, like I said, in 2017 at the beginning, and it was through some brothers that I did meet on campus, and they were students as well. They would hold weekly Sabbath classes in our dorm building, and that's kind of, it went from there. So yeah, I found it out on campus.
Okay. So how was that? You know what I'm saying? Because for instance, you got some people that when they was going to school, even just going to school, period, you know what I'm saying? Some kids, they went to school surrounded by other nations, you know what I'm saying? Other nations, other people, you know what I'm saying? So how was that experience? Because a lot of our people don't even get the experience to even go to a place like a college or school where you're surrounded by your own people that's trying to reach a higher education. You know what I'm saying? So how is that? You know what I'm saying? Just being in that situation. You know what I'm saying? How was that?
So it was, you gotta, with anything in life, you gotta chew the meat and spit the bones. I do believe that it was a great experience as far as uh, just learning a lot more about my people. I would say that had I not went to an HBCU, just speaking on my experience, had I not went to an HBCU and had the ability to be surrounded by my people, it would never give me a chance to truly, when we go out on the street and teach, know how to interact with the different mindsets that our people have, the different type of emotions they experience, the different type of spirits they may have on them, the different type of beliefs in regards to, the same Bible that we read from. It gave me a good understanding of why our people are the people of the book. I will say that first and foremost. Like, it's one of the most beautiful things from a worldly standpoint. But again, when you think about the truth, man, it's also one of the saddest things because HBCU, in a lot of times, entitle our people to condone wickedness, right? To stay in the same condition that we're in. That's where you see everybody going and joining Greek letter organizations. That's where you see people living the time of their life in a wicked manner as far as being harlots and whoremongers. So you gotta take the bad with the good, but overall the experience from just networking, meeting people, it was very great. I would never shun the school I went to, nor the experience I had, because ultimately it shapes all of us for who we are in our life today. Whether you went to college or not, whether you went to an HBCU or not, the experience you had at a certain point in life just kind of helps you where you are now. So yeah, for me, I just got to chew the meat and spit the bones with that one.
I feel that. I feel that. And
Yeah.
I kind of I pay attention to what you said. It helps you communicate with people, which is a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Being able, especially as you teaching, going out teaching word, you got to be able to communicate with our people. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed one thing because we labored together when the first time I ever met you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You actually engage the audience, you know what I'm saying? As in you ask them like, hey, what's your name? You know what I'm saying? What's your major? And things like that. Actually connecting with the people that you're teaching.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how do you feel like the important it is to connect with your people as you're teaching them?
Yeah, I mean, it's very important. I know that there's a time for everything. There's a time to be vigilant. There's a time to understand that there's a time to sharp rebuke, and there's a time to, okay, let me use a little bit more peaceable approach, because that one thing I've learned is that everybody receives information differently. I know, and that when we're teaching people, even when it seems like we're shouting or we bringing it out the word mighty, we're doing it from a place at the end of the day of love, right? That's what we're doing it from. When we're going out on the corners, when we're going out and approaching people or asking people to approach us, we're doing all of these things out of love. They don't understand that, but we do. So it is important to kind of know when and when to play the strong hand, only because it gives you an opportunity to have a conversation that is much needed with our people. Like, I don't want to be the guy to turn everybody away, but at the same time, I got to know that, hey, the book tells us to kick up the dust of our feet. I'm gonna wipe my hands with it, because our job is to cry loud and spare not. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm going to stick by regardless. However, there are times where we've had conversations over, the course of the last year that we didn't have to take that approach. And when we didn't take that approach, they became fruitful. But it just gives you it's good to know how to navigate, conversations. It's good to interact, because at the end of the day, that's who this word is for, our people, and that's our main goal, is to wake our people up. I would never tell brothers to water down their word for the sake of catering to everybody's emotions. It's not meant for everybody to receive. So we just got to know when to be mighty, you know what I'm saying? And when to just, okay, let me be a little bit more humble about it.
That's right though. So what's a message or a point that you would give to somebody that's just joining this truth, and they're trying to maneuver their way around this thing? What's some tips that you can give them?
My brother Denal said it the other day, don't forsake help, man. I feel like when I first came into the truth, I would say that I was so eager to get on the highways and byways, I didn't take the time to learn a lot more information that I could have. You know what I'm saying? And over the years, being apart with my brothers, you know what I'm saying, they have given me wisdom, counsel. I like fellowshipping with you and all the other brothers, Brother Obadiah, and all the other brothers. I've got wisdom. And the reason I said help is because a lot of times you get into this knowledge and sometimes you just want to learn the information on your own. And I'm just only speaking for people who may feel like me. I can't speak for everybody, but I will give a word of advice to the people who are very much eager to do the work of the Lord, like you see on the streets, to be the person teaching with the microphone and stuff like that. Allow brothers to help you, allow brothers to help you develop your spirit, your sense of humility, you know what I'm saying, your sense of compassion, because at the end of the day, we're a nation of people that's trying to wake up a nation of people who was prophesied to be a stiff-necked nation of people. Right. You just got to know that you got to have patience. And the only way you're going to receive that is by not forsaking brothers' help. Go sit at the feet of the elders. You know what I'm saying? Fellowship with brothers. Understand that everybody, one thing I would say is, and understand that everybody may not see a scripture the same way, but at the end of the day, the bread and butter, the things that all the brothers we fellowship, the bread and butter is that we teach to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. So allow brothers to help you through your understanding, brothers that feel the same way you do about keeping these commandments. You know what I'm saying? And don't feel like you got to do it on your own, right? This truth is not meant for people to come in here and be isolated, right? You're supposed to come in here and separate yourself from the ways of the world or the former man that you used to deal with. But all in all, hey, the unity of brethren. I can't say it enough.
That's right. I like that. I love that, man. I love that. You definitely want to get yourself built up in this thing before you step out there and utilize the people that's around you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, we don't even know the blessings that we have in front of us. You know what I'm saying? You could be surrounded by some good people that really know some things that can help you build yourself up. You know what I'm saying? We think about it. Yahweh, the disciples, they were surrounded by YAHAWASHI. You know what I'm saying? He was able to get access to so much wisdom and knowledge and things like that. So that's a beautiful thing, man. So let's talk about some music, man. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to music, we have different artists here in the truth. You know what I'm saying? What would you say your top three is? Your top three in the truth.
Top three artists. You know what's crazy? I'm not even gonna lie to you. I sat up here and I watched the interviews you had with the brother Obadiah and the other brothers from New Wine, and I said to myself, when he asked me if I ever get a chance to sit down and he asked me this, I'm gonna say these people. But right now in this moment, it's really hard for me to truly give a top three. But I'll give you the ones that I have in rotation. So one of I would say the Rock Our Bar. I would say No Name Servant. No Name Servant is another one. And I will say the Deacon. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yeah, the Deacon, man. A lot of people sleep on the Deacon, but I will say, man, it's just like he's really good with the pencil. You know what I'm saying? Like he has some punchlines, he has some verbiage in his music that it'll make you go, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at first, I will say the very first time I listened to Deacon, it was his album called Nostalgia. I promise to you, I didn't really necessarily say I liked it, but I wasn't a big fan of it. And I remember on the way to camp one day talking to my brother Denal, because he the one who put me on the Deacon, and he was like, man, you got to just listen to what he's saying. So I had to separate myself from the worldly way of listening to music, just hearing the beat and going like, oh, this hard. Then I started listening to what he was actually saying, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie, he really bar for bar, probably top of the line when it comes to just artists in this truth. But The Rock, No Name Servant, and the Deacon for sure. And I'm gonna just add a honorable mention, a Navio the Servant. You know what I'm saying? Formerly went by Humble for Yah. You know what I'm saying? I listened to that brother too.
He hard. So, you know, with that being said, you know, us as a people, we music affects us a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether we be in the world or in the truth, you know what I'm saying? Because we got in the world, we listen to rap culture, you know what I'm saying? This and that, all that. How does the impact, what would you say the impact of truth music have on the nation? You know what I'm saying? Just like how rap music have an impact, what do you think the impact of truth music actually brings to the nation?
So the difference in the music from the world as opposed to music in the truth, from my standpoint, is definitely a lot more spiritual healing music as opposed to self-destruction music. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody brings out the truth in different ways, but nonetheless, it's still the truth. So that's the biggest thing I get from listening to music now. Like, even the artists I name, all three of them have different flows. You know what I'm saying? They all have different approaches to delivering the message. But at the end of the day, nonetheless, it's the same message all across the board. Just like in the world, everybody's pretty much saying the same thing in different ways, but at the same time, that music is for destruction. So the influence in the truth, I would say the biggest thing is, a lot of people have to remember that even these brothers who are making music, you know what I'm saying, just don't treat brothers like, you know what I'm saying, they celebrities and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, bro, you got to go read Sirach 44 and talk about famous men, you know what I'm saying, and talk about the famous men that we should be reverencing. That's the only thing I will say, is because sometimes in this truth, you know, you hear your artist, and then you go to a camp, you see him in person, it's almost like, oh, that's so-and-so. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? They had that, they do that in the world. I just feel like in the truth, that would be the only type of influence I would say that's kind of, you know what I'm saying, people got to get away from. And I'm not accusing anybody directly of it, but I'm just speaking from a self opinion that maybe in a way I felt at one point in time.
Yeah, no, that's real. And that kind of brought me to a question, you know what I'm saying? You know, and it's just conversation. We just chopping it up, but
yeah,
you said something about, you know what I'm saying, about like how it's kind of like fan. It's like fan activity. You know what I'm saying? So with music, you kind of see that. Would you say it's kind of some fan activity in its truth, as in with leaders? You know what I'm saying? Like when you go out, you know, you got these leaders, these renowned leaders that's kind of known more than others. You know what I'm saying? Do you see that there's a fan activity with leaders in the truth as well?
Yeah, no doubt. There definitely is. And I feel like that just comes from people be so excited to meet and see the people that spreads the message abroad. You know what I'm saying? Like, even my first time meeting you, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say I was fanning, but you gotta think, I seen you on IG videos before I met you in person. And then to see you in person, I was like, oh, this that brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a mighty. But there has to be a limit to it. I do think people fan over, you know, teachers and leaders. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't give all praises for the work that these brothers are putting in. But at the same time, again, Sirach 44. Now, let us praise famous men. The only men we should be out here, you know what I'm saying, like dropping jaws over and, you know, being in awe over is the men that the Lord mentioned in those chapters. You know, Josiah, David, Abraham. Like, those men set an example for us. And I think that even the men now, I'm not saying they're not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they're not setting an example, but I think that, again, we have to remember that at the end of the day, we're all brothers and sisters, and we're all striving to get to the kingdom. So you don't got to sit up here and, you know, act like the world where it was a celebrity and it was just like, oh my gosh, like, nah, that's your brother. Go talk to them. That's your sister. Go talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Go have conversation. Go shake their hand. Act normal. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all on the same level in a sense, like I said, of just trying to get to the kingdom. So, yeah. But again, I just want to say with that, at the end of the day, I still always give all praises, glory, and honor for those brothers who go out there and put in work. You know what I'm saying? Such as like Brother Gorilla Hebrew, you know what I'm saying? Chief Priest Alazar of the Sakari camp, the Deacon Sakari, the person who brought me into the truth specifically, well, not brought me into the truth, but the brother who I started watching initially when I came into the truth was Captain Tazimov from Sakari, you know, Sakari San Diego. He was the actual man that when I first started watching street teaching videos, it was him. So just having an opportunity to meet these people in person, you always got to remind yourself, hey, don't do too much because these are brothers at the end of the day. Just go kick it with them, you know?
And I would say this too. You know, big thing our people need to do is these now I'm down with you. Definitely all praise most high for the brothers out there that's grinding, because you got some mighty brothers out there that's putting a brick in, that's teaching the sheep, they doing things. But remember this, follow the message, not the man. You know what I'm saying? Because these brothers, they're bringing out mighty mess, because ultimately it's the Most High that's using these people to do these mighty things, and just take heed to the message. Because a lot of people, they kind of get caught up in the man and not the message. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's very keen. But that's right, though. You want to always give honor, glory, and praise the Most High for even putting in the brother's spirit to go out and do those things. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these leaders that's up there right now, even y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, the work that we're doing, it's like the butterfly effect. You know what I'm saying? Yep. You don't know who you reaching. You know what I'm saying? You could reach somebody in dang India or whatever. It's like, you know what I'm saying? We scattered abroad. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a beautiful thing. So with that being said, you kind of already gave me one that you already said, Captain
Taz, man.
Yeah. So who's your top three teachers? You like top three, man?
I would say Captain Taz. I would say really, I can't even say top three in this instance, because the videos that I watch, there could be like multiple speakers outside of when I'm watching like Sakari or, you know, WFI. I watch a multitude of camps. So, but if I had to like go down the list, man, I would say Captain Taz.
When I say this, not like saying they the best.
Yeah.
It's just what's for you, because everybody got different teachers that they spirit is drawn to. You know what I'm saying? So what's I should write that different. What the top three teachers that you're drawn to?
So yeah, Captain Taz, I would say Elder YAHAWAH from the Sons of Thunder, man. And I would say really real dilly. I mean, I know that I watch a lot of Sakari too, but it's really not in specific one teacher, because I already named Captain Taz. I named y'all. Really, I would have to go the route of saying Brother Naquan from WFI too. You know what I'm saying? I watch Brother Naquan a lot, and I would say those are the teachers that I'm drawn to a lot, because again, when me personally, when I watch these brothers and watch how they, you know, rightly divide the word, it always leaves me with seeing, okay, I could say something like this. Like, the reason I like Brother Naquam so much is because one thing I try to pride myself on is having a good memory. And Brother Naquam, he's always like on it with calling, you know what I'm saying, the precept. Like, you know, he's on it. Give me the book of it, you give me the book of it, you give me the book of it. And I know he doesn't do that for vainglory. So I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, kind of like say that he does that for attention. But it just goes to show that when you study to show yourself approved, when it's time to bring those precepts out, you can see that he studied, and that's kind of like how I say I want to have my mind like, okay, if somebody say this, I know to go here. If somebody say that, I know to go there. You know what I'm saying? Like clockwork. But those are the three teachers that I'm drawn to the most, and I will throw in an extra like two.
Yeah, go ahead.
And that would be Hassad for sure. That'd
Cold.
be Deacon,
Yeah,
and that would also be Nakai Amaya. You know what I'm saying? If I said that right, but he's from Sakari too. So those are some good teachers in my opinion.
And again, you know what I'm saying, we not talking about the best, you know what I'm saying? We just saying
Yeah. Not the best, just the
yeah.
ones that when I cut on YouTube and I'm looking to gain some knowledge or information, or you know, I see they posted a new video. It's good. When those brothers are teaching, that's just something like, okay, let me tune in. You know what I'm saying? But I do that with anybody. You know, any camp that posts a teaching video, I always sit down and I try to, you know what I'm saying, watch and learn. I would just say over the years, I just can find myself watching those brothers a lot more frequent.
I understand that. Kind of. So you got kids, man. You got kids. Go shift the gears, right? How would you say is being a father and thing? What is the important aspect of being a father? You know what I'm saying? In a husband is truth. You
know, understanding order. I would say understanding order, right? Because again, one thing about our people and in the world is that I see a lot of times in a lot of different situations we lack order and structure. I came from a background of where we lacked order. You know, I came from a matriarchal background, so it was a lot of women in my upbringing, I will say. And I'm not saying that there wasn't men. You know, I do have brothers. I got two of them. One of them biological. One of them blood couldn't make us any closer. You know what I'm saying? But when I look around the order and structure of a black household today, it revolves a lot around the removal or absence of a man. So the biggest thing that I would always tell brothers in the truth is that when you come into the truth, always remember that according to 1 Corinthians 11:3, we have a role and you are above that woman. And that's not to be sexist or misogynistic like people say. That's to put things in its original balance as was commanded by our Father. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're a father, especially in the truth, there's going to be a lot of people that try to come against you, your relationship, and the way you may want to raise your children. But if you have order in your house and your wife understands that, then that means when those things come up against you, those seductions, or whenever the enemy tries to attack, you will never be in the midst of chaos because it's order. You know what I'm saying? Your wife knows her role, she plays it. You know your role, you play it. And when your children come of age and they understand their role as a child, then they're going to play their role according to how the Lord ordained it to be. So order is the biggest thing that I would say brothers have to keep in mind when you're in the truth and you're married, just from my experience.
No, I think that's very keen. You know what I'm saying? And when you have that order, and you said the order, I think it's very beautiful. Especially like you say, you want to have people that's going to be against the how like, dang, y'all raising y'all kids like this, like that. And you're 9 times out of 10, your woman, she's believing the same thing as you. So by you setting that order, you saying like this how it's going to be. That gives her a sense of protection. Like, oh man, he got my back too. You know what I'm saying? He got my back too. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all, when you set that order, you said, hey, we on this wavelength. You know what I'm saying? That's the order. Is you set the wavelength for your household. You know what I'm saying? We don't flow like this. You know what I'm saying? We in charge of the flow of our household. You know what I'm saying? Because we not only because a lot of people they think that order is responsibility comes with order. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure you got to have order spiritually, mentally, physically. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a big impact to have that in your relationship in your life. You know what I'm saying? Understanding that we get order from the Most High.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He orders us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it just trickle on down. So I think that's a very beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And I just to add on to that, you know, it's important too, because again, when you, like you mentioned, we get order from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So we move as the Father tells us to move, right? And I think that people have to understand, especially when it comes to the truth, is that a woman I'm just speaking on conversations that I've had before, just taking it back, not going to go on a diatribe, but I've had conversations with people before and they disagree with the order and structure of the Bible as a pertaining to the role of a woman and a man. And my biggest thing was, well, what is your biggest disagreement? A lot of people don't like the way it's worded, and it comes off as, oh, okay, well, your wife is supposed to be your slave. You know what I'm saying? And in a sense, that's just so naive and that's so disingenuous, because nowhere in the scriptures is it telling your wife to be a slave unto you. No, see, by your wife serving you, by your wife doing what you command her to do, she's serving the Father, because that's what the way the Most High ordained it to be. That's why women was created, to be a helpmeet unto the man. And a lot of times women be turned off by order and structure in the household and the truth. But you got to realize, if you be a helpmeet unto your husband, that makes your life that much more easier, right? Like sometimes, and for brothers too, sometimes, you know, you got to kind of back off the gas a little bit when your wife has feelings and emotions, or your wife asks you to do something. Because if I want my wife to like, for me, I'm gonna just speak on my household. My wife does all the cooking for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So if my wife is gonna cook, then that means that if she tells me, hey, you need to get up and go to the store, I need to get up and go to the store. You know what I'm saying? I can't be sitting up here like, oh, you go to the store and you do this, you do that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm the man. And like, I just try to find that natural balance of knowing our role, but at the same time, just not being overbearing with it. You get what I'm saying?
Right. No, that's facts. And I would say that's a very pivotal role. And then also, a woman has a very important role, like you said, being a helpmeet. You got your husband. He's going out. He's doing this. He handling the business. He's teaching them. He's doing all these things, and you need help in this thing, man. You need help in this thing, man. That's a beautiful thing to be able to even. And that's just. I think what society has did is has taken away how important that is to help one another. You know what I'm saying? To where we're pitted against one another. It's like, no, you this, you that. No, we need each other. We gotta help each other, right?
Right.
You need me. I said the order. I need you because you helped me with this and you helped me with that. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you know what I'm saying? She do cooking. Hey, I want to come on, get some me. You know what I'm saying? Not saying, oh, she's and you got some women that actually enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? You got some women that, hey, they love. I really gotta get into the facts of love to please your man. You should want to do that. You know what I'm saying? You should want to please your man. That's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? And just like you're saying, so we it's not like we just condescend on them. You know, hey man, like you said, if she cooking, yeah, I watch the baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got you. I got you, guys. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that's just having each other back in this thing, man. What would you say is a very important thing to either important tip to that you would give somebody that's married in this thing or that wants to get married?
An important tip?
Mm-hmm.
That's married or wants to get married. I would say stay off of social media. No cap. No, look, this is what I mean. Like, even in the truth, you can have a lot of women posting their relationship and how, you know, her and her husband communicate this, that, and the third. It's best for you to not pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? Don't get influenced by the lives of other men and women living in the world. You know what I'm saying? Whether they be in the truth or not, because their life might not be your life right now, right? The way her husband communicate, maybe not the way your husband communicate, or brother, the way his wife shows love and affection may not be the way your wife has learned to show love and affection. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest thing is knowing what you got and being appreciative for that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to iron out the patches together, but don't let social media, whether they be in the truth or not, influence you in a sense.
Nah, I think that's a key advice. You know what I'm saying? Because you have people and they do that. They compare relationships. You are not. That is bad. You don't compare relationships. Don't compare relationships. Everybody have a different. Like you said it perfect. Everybody got a different life. You know what I'm saying? That man is not the same man. That woman is not the same woman. You know what I'm saying? So it's not good. Just like you said, be content with what you got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What you got is what you got. And be grateful to find the good in that. You know what I'm saying? But don't compare. I definitely agree with that. Right. So you teach people, man. What would you say is an important or advice to brothers that want to get out and teach? You know what I'm saying? That's like, man, I want to be a teacher. You know what I'm saying? But this, that. You know, I know earlier we talked about, you know what I'm saying, getting help. But what's some other advice? Because, you know, you got a lot of brothers, they see us, you know what I'm saying, out teaching, and they got that fire, that drive, and they want to get out there. You know what I'm saying? What advice would you give those brothers?
Yeah. Salaki, but I would say another word of advice when it comes to teaching, again, is, I mean, I know we talked about earlier about, you know, not forsaking help. Give yourself time to learn more, give yourself time to grow. But I will say, I think I spoke on it a little bit too, just about that being compassionate. But yeah, I would just continue to say, for brothers who are eager, you know what I'm saying, to go out and labor, be very, I would say, be very witty with your words. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing I would say. Be very witty with your words. You know, learn how to communicate in a way that they understand. Don't be a Bible basher. And what I mean by Bible basher is, we all know that we only want to speak according to what thus saith the Lord is, or thus saith in the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? If we got to go into the letters of Paul to bring something out, we want to read exactly what Paul said and not give our own private interpretation of anything, right? But understand that it's okay to give a breakdown or give somebody an understanding of what something says, right? And that's what I mean by not being a Bible basher. Don't be somebody who just pull a precept, and every time they ask a question, you pull a precept and you read the precept and you say, well, does the precept say this, right? You got to be able to, you know, give them the understanding of what you're reading or having read or what the prophet said. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing is, it's all people, we look on social media, again, we watch the videos, we may, and there's brothers out there that may not be watching other videos, but they just may be out on the street corners with their respective congregation, and they may be like, I'm ready for that to come. Understand that, hey, your time will come. Just continue to build on the information you know now. You know, continue to understand that you can use different approaches to bring it out, and understand that it's okay to break things down. Like the brother said, must be skillful. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to know how to handle situations. Like, if any brother wants to teach, I advise all brothers to go watch Kyrie Irving play basketball. Hear me out. Go watch Kyrie play basketball. Go watch Kyrie dribble. Go watch Kyrie finish in contact. Go watch how Kyrie just has his layup package. Go watch how he attacks his opponent. And the reason I say Kyrie Irving is because, in my opinion, Kyrie Irving is probably the most skilled basketball player we have on planet Earth that has ever been on planet Earth.
Hold on, sir.
Most skilled. Hold on.
You got that good. Now you good. Go ahead.
No. I'm not saying greatest of all time, you know, but I'm saying like most skilled, because Kyrie, man, the way he's able to finish through contact, he may get hit a little bit, and he knows how to like put certain English on the ball to make the ball spin in the net the correct way. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows how to spin it off the backboard the right way so it'll go in the net if he's getting hit finishing the layup. Or he knows how to change his release point on layups when he's finishing in contact. Like, he knows how to do a variation of things that causes him to be great and to be dominant at the point guard position. And that's why I say, man, you got to watch Kyrie. You watch Kyrie, you see how he does all these various different things, how he, you know, can attack the paint, but at the same time pull up and shoot. It'll just teach you that in this truth, sometimes you got to know when to drive, sometimes you got to know when to drive and kick, or sometimes you got to know when to hit somebody with an up and under layup, or sometimes you got to know when to dunk on somebody. So you got to have all these different approaches when you're a teacher. And that's the only thing I say. Sometimes brothers get eager to teach and they only got one trick. You're a one-trick pony. Don't be that guy. Be a guy who knows how to listen, who knows how to have compassion, who knows how to break things down, but never be a guy who caters to emotions.
I think I really like what you just said, though. You know what I'm saying? That's another awesome tip, man. Because when it comes to this Bible and teaching it, you know what I'm saying? You have to be fluent. You got to be fluent, be able to communicate with people. We don't just talk. Like you got to be able to communicate what you're saying. You got to communicate what you just read. Because a lot of people that's their first time ever hearing that Bible scripture. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
9 times out of 10, we ask people, have you read? Do you believe in the Bible? They're like, yeah. They're like, have you read the Bible? They're like, I don't even read it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that scripture you just brought out, that's their first time probably hearing that. So you got to be able to let them know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's why you put in that position to teach. But I like how you said you got to be able to adapt, because like it's very. I like that. You got to be able to adapt when it comes to teaching, because you get in a lot of situations, and a lot of people don't know that when you out there on the highways and byways, man, you get all kind of stuff get thrown at you. You know what I'm saying? You got
well.
You know what I'm saying? You get scoffers, you get this, you get that, man, and you get some people that's coming that's stumble. You get a melting pot. You know what you gonna get. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be able to adapt with the situation. You gotta be able to flow with it. You know what I'm saying? And still hold your own. And it's kind of like what's that sport when they be fighting with the swords?
I forgot the name of it, but it's not swords. It's not archery. Dang.
But you know what I'm talking about.
We know.
Yeah. So the point is, you know what I'm saying? It takes some skill. You gotta be fencing. That's it. Fencing.
Fencing. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Fencing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to know how to. You gotta be able to react to what's ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So okay. So we gonna shift gears, man. So man, who got the kind of have biblical IQ? Yeah, that's right. So what would you say? So who got the top food, man? What nation got the top? What tribe got the top food, man?
Man, I'm a big lover of. I'm not gonna lie. Now, don't hit me over the head for this, man. But my actually favorite genre of food is Italian. My favorite genre of food is Italian, man. I'm a stickler for some chicken Alfredo or some pasta. Like I don't know. I think based on just straight tribe, man, I gotta go with like Issachar, man. Mexican food is probably some of the best food. And then after that, bro, it's really like, it don't really matter to me after that. Like, I grew up on soul food, but really, man, soul food it just get boring after a while. You know what I'm saying? So I would say.
What about that curry though? You know what I'm saying? That curry chicken, man. You know what I'm saying? Benji got that curry chicken. What?
Man, I mean, don't get me wrong, man. Curry chicken is busting, but if I had to choose to eat from a specific tribe, it would definitely be like Hispanic first and foremost. So I'm going, you know what I'm saying? Issachar. I'm going. I would probably say. I really can't say that. I would probably say Simeon got some good food too. Them Dominicans, man, they got some good food too. But I would really have to go with Issachar, man. Issachar really got the best food to me, dog. I don't know. Something about you know what I'm saying, like fajitas and stuff like that, and enchiladas and chalupas.
Bust down. All right, so what would you say? You know what I'm saying? Because back in the world, you know what I'm saying, we used to have our favorite holidays. You know what I'm saying? But what's your top 3 favorite high holy days?
Top 3? It would be the 3 appointed. I would have to go with the Feast of Unleavened Bread. I would have to go with First Fruits. And I would have to go with Tabernacles, man. Because again, brother brought out Tabernacles, I think in the previous interview that you did, and really that you can't beat that, man. It's really a good experience all around. Being able to take in, nature for 8 days, I wouldn't have no complaints, you know, to be able to live in a tent and just remember the time that we dwelt in the wilderness, man. It's such a special gathering, you know, when that time comes. So yeah, I would have to say that.
Now that's real. That's what he said. He said feast of leavened bread. He said feast of weeks.
Feast of weeks, yeah.
Yeah, and feast
Yeah,
of I ain't gonna lie. That go crazy, bro. Like, I like the vibe. You know what I'm saying? When you just out there, you know, you just out there in the wilderness, you get that fresh air, man. You got the trees. You know what I'm saying? Just like we so used to being in the home every day. Every day we go home. You know what I'm saying? You get in your bed. You just so used to this enclosed area. But when you out there on the Feast of Tabernacle, you out there in nature, like you out there. You out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? You get to sit by the little, you know what I'm saying, fire pit.
Yeah.
You know, it's a vibe, man. It's a vibe, man. And I think that it's our people. That's where we from. You know what I'm saying? We had a history of being out there. You know what I'm saying? We had a history, like you said, when we got out of Egypt. A lot of people in the wilderness 40 years.
40
you know
years.
What I'm saying? 40 years out there thugging. So I got a question. All right, now we know YAHAWASHI by default. Anybody would want to meet YAHAWASHI. You know everybody, let's go. We can't he's talked out. But if you can meet 3 men, all right, 3 men from the Bible, who would they be and why?
Dang, 3 men?
Yeah. Well, it ain't gotta be men. It could be it could be one, whatever. It could be one.
I would have to. Dang, that's kind of tough though. 3. Let me take a second and think about this. 3.
Right.
I would definitely have to meet Moses. I gotta talk with Moses.
Wow.
I gotta talk with Moses because again, he was, you know, the initial, I guess you could say, leader of the people. He was according to Deuteronomy 33:5, he was the first king of Israel. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But so I would have to meet Moses only to see, like, you know, how he was able to deal with the calling that the Most High placed on his life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we know that we see his life and how he handles situations all throughout the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? But he was the only person that the Lord spoke with face to face. You know what I'm saying? So it would definitely be something that I would have to talk to him about. Like, how was that experience? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How was talking to the Lord? How was, you know, bringing the 2 tables of stone? Like, how was it when you seen your people, when you were coming down from off a mountain talking to the Lord and you seen them, you know, sacrificing to an idol? How did you feel? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like,
crazy.
I definitely got to talk to Moses. I would say the next person I would have to talk with is King David. King David. Wow. I got to talk to King David, man. Only because, again, he's the most known king in our nation. You know what I'm saying? He's the most talked about king, and I want to talk to David just for the spirit that he had on him when it came to him and Saul. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He did not want to kill Saul at all because his mindset was, who can be, you know, guiltless if they put their hand towards the Lord's anointed, roughly paraphrasing that scripture. And I just want to talk to him just to kind of see, like, how did you, you know, come to terms with understanding that, hey, even though this man trying to kill you, I'm not going to touch him. Because I want to be able to take what he said and relay that message to everybody and, like, hey, we need to stop doing this to each other because this is what King David experienced and this is how he overcame it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's really,
and I think the last person I would have to talk to, I would say I would have to go to Paul. I would have to go to Paul. And I'm going to say, Paul, you didn't have to say it like that, you know, because you got a lot of people confused out here. Like, you could have just said it like this, left it at that, but you had to say it in a way that, but, you know, Paul would be another person I want to talk to for sure. Paul, David, and Moses for sure. Those are my 3.
Okay, I like that. Hey, I that's one. I'll tell. Hey, Paul, you know they really confused at what you were talking about. Man.
Like, come on,
people, bro. You got a lot of people confused out here. But So we gonna get ready to wind down, but
God.
you know what I'm saying. I really enjoyed the time just talking to you and picking your brain, man, and getting the wisdom, man, and just learning. You know what I'm saying, some of the things and some of your experiences. You know what I'm saying. And before we run out, I'll say well, what would be one of the hardest things about this truth?
One of the hardest.
Yes. And how do you
Uh,
deal with it?
I would say I'm taking it back to answer number one: staying disciplined. Staying
Mm,
disciplined is also at the same time. It's one of the things I learned to bring over from playing sports. Staying disciplined is one of the hardest things to in this truth. You're gonna have to overcome so much temptation in this truth. Like people think that you come in the knowledge and all of a sudden it's gonna be easier because you have the knowledge, right? Which in hindsight, yes, it does get easier. But at the same time, that temptation starts to kick in that much more. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? So you're going to have to use the weapons that the Lord gave us to fight. You're going to have to fight like heck. You know what I'm saying? Staying disciplined is the absolute hardest because you could just wake up one day and just say, you know what? I don't feel like wearing fringes. You know what? I don't feel like reading today. You know what? I don't feel like praying. You know what? I don't feel like keeping the commandments no more. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Yeah.
Like, and it's so many, it's so much opportunity out here for everybody to just fall off the horse. But I would just say, man, my heart's desire and prayer, Romans 10:1, is that for Israel and that they may be saved. And the only way we can get saved is by staying disciplined, man. Stay
Yeah.
reading, stay fasting, stay praying. And The Rock had a freestyle that he did to this beat called The London, and it was called Stay Girded. You got to stay girded in your loins, man, because Satan is out here
Mm,
trying to get you to misstep every opportunity. And you just got to stay the course. And if you do misstep, repent, man, and keep going. Don't let that spirit that came over you that you failed to keep you down, right?
right.
So that would be, you know what I'm saying, the hardest thing for me is just that spirit of discipline. But again, just keep fighting.
I like that though. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, I like that though, man. Because discipline is tough. Because like you said, ain't nobody in the shoe really putting a gun to your head and force you to do it.
Right?
You gotta want to do this, and you gotta want to do it. You know
You
what I'm
gotta
saying?
want to do it.
And that's discipline. You know what I'm saying? It's discipline because you're like, man, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. And like you said, it gets hard sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You have that demon that hop in your mind. You know what I'm saying? And calls you. You know what I'm saying? But you
Yeah,
gotta stay in this thing. You know what I'm saying? You
yeah.
gotta stay in this fight, man. So I say that's a tough one, but I say you can do it. It's feasible. It's hard,
It's
but it's
hard.
feasible. You know what I'm saying? It ain't easy. Like a lot of people, they make it seem like it's an easy thing, but you know what I'm saying? It says through much tribulation shall we get the kingdom. So we gotta think
Much
about it. This is the
tribulation.
greatest thing that you know what I'm saying, that we could ever work towards. You know what I'm saying? It's the greatest thing that we could ever work towards. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think about it. You know what I'm saying? You work for a degree, right?
Right.
You work for a degree, you know what I'm saying? But how about working for the kingdom? You know what I'm saying? Something that can last your soul, everlasting life. No
Everlasting.
crying, no mourning, riches. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, man.
Man, yeah, and
Uh,
that's why I say, man, people, if you can just get the concept in your head that one day the flesh that we know it is gonna come to an end, right? And then that day you get resurrected, you just gotta be sure that hey, I know I'm going, you know what I'm saying, I'm getting that code to the kingdom. And that's what we gotta strive for, man.
that's right though. That's right though. I like that. I like that. I like that, man. All right, so I got a question for you though. All right,
Okay.
we talk about the kingdom, man. So we know we not saying that we don't know. Lord willing, we make it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Lord willing.
for conversations, because you know we have these conversations. You know what I'm saying? What's something that you like? You was to get the king. What's something that you would like that you'll be like looking forward to doing? You know what I'm saying? You know, like some people are like, man, I just want to have like meet this person, let me sit at the table with YAHAWASHI. I want to sit there and rule over this city or whatever. What's something that you would say like kingdom wise that you would look like you if you was to get there to look forward to? Even though we're not saying that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We know
Yeah. I know what you're saying. The biggest thing I'm looking forward to, man, is our nation being on one accord. That's what I want to see the most, man. You know, because at the end of the day, bro, like I say, it ain't no greater love that a man could have other than to be honest. Well, let me not misquote the scripture. It's greater love have no man than a man that laid down his life for his friends. But
Right.
what I was going to say on top of that too, man, it's such a love to want to tell people, hey, keep the commandments of God, and I promise you, life will get easier for all of us if we can just all get on the same page. And that's all I want to see is for Israel to just finally be on the same page, and all these other nations, you know what I'm saying, in subjection to the God of our fathers. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want to see is just for us to be on one accord, man. That'll be a beautiful thing.
I think that'll be like the most. I think that'll be like the most heartwarming thing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
can you just imagine that a feast day in the kingdom?
man.
All those like now like now when a feast day come around, you say you got somebody, they might be keeping that feast day this time, they might have this feast day that time, you know what I'm saying? Then you got the rest of the Israelites, they not even keeping the feast days at all, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But in the kingdom, you're gonna have all the Israelites actually keeping the feast day on the same day at the same exact time. That gotta be the most man, that's a sight there, man. That has to be the most beautiful the sight you can see, man. You know what I'm saying? All of them just call upon the name of the Lord.
Right, man. That's all I'm really looking forward to, man. Cause like you said, even now, even when we fellowship, man, it's always a beautiful sight to see y'all brothers, man. It's
Right.
always good to be around. Psalms 133, you know what I'm saying? Oh, good and how pleasing it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing more beautiful than to see a bunch of brothers that follow the same commandments that you do, and y'all just fellowship and have a good time, man. And that's all I want for our nation of people.
Con,
Yeah.
man. Lord, when do we get there, man? But you know what I'm saying? I think that's a beautiful aspect. And so yeah, but this the brother Yashayah, man, from the hopeful elect, right? Mighty camp, mighty brothers, right? Look up their YouTube channel. We're gonna put it in when I upload the video. I'm gonna put y'all YouTube in there,
Con.
so they can follow y'all, subscribe to y'all, man. The brothers got some mighty teachers over there. Beautiful lessons. Maybe have wisdom.
Wisdom Wednesday, Think About It Thursday, and we occasionally get on for like Freestyle Friday, but we definitely on Wednesdays and Thursdays for the most part, for sure.
Okay. So there y'all have it, man. That's where y'all can find them at. You know what I'm saying? What's something that you'll leave us off with, man? Anything to leave us off with.
Um, hey, repent for the kingdom is at hand. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say. Just keep striving for perfection, man, and we can get that end goal of us being on one accord one day for sure. But hey, I want to say real quick, shout out to the brother Aliyah for inviting me on here, man. Shout out to New Wine Congregation of Israel for sure. I love them brothers. I love you, brother. You know what I'm saying? And Voices of the Branches is going up for real. So all praise to the Most High for that.
All praise most high, man. Love you too, brother. Hey, man. Again, I'm glad to have you on here, man. You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely beautiful, man. And again, you know what I'm saying? Y'all go check them boys out, man. Hopefully not boys, them kings. Them kings, those men. Those men, check those men out, right? At the Hopeful Elect, man. Beautiful builders, man. Check out the brother Yashayah, man. Again, it's Voice of the Branches, brother Aliyah. Shalom.
Shalom.